So there are different categories. One more is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources, renew means, what does renew means? Renew means it will come again. It can replenish, it can again make themselves. So renewable resources are those resources which are constantly available, like water. Water in every form it will be there, the content, the number is fixed. But it will never be finished. If you use water, it will not be exhausted. It can be replaced or it can be recovered. But if you see somewhere it is flood, somewhere it is drought, right? So you see, like forest. If you remove that forest and if you leave this land, in due course of time, the forest and trees will come. But it takes a lot of time. So some renewable resources, they can be replenished easily, but some of them take millions of years, thousands of years. So that is why they are not renewable. Some of these resources which are exhaustible, that is, which are going to be finished, they are coming from nature. They are naturally regenerated. I gave you an example of forest, trees and plants. So we destroy a forest or we cut a forest or plant, the plant and forest will come by itself. If you leave a land, it will come by itself. If new one will grow by itself. But if you cut a forest and if you use this land for, say, human purpose, like construction of building or say some other human purpose, it will be lost forever. That land will never grow the forest or plant. Okay? Then it will not be renewable. So renewable energy systems, that is, those renewed and they produce energy also. So these renewable energy sources or energy system, they will be replaced, and if you use these energy systems, they are less polluting as well. If you use solar energy, hydropower, the geothermal energy, hydropower is basically waves, the biomass. Geothermal is because earth is inside is very hot, so you get heat out of it. So this geo is globe, our earth, and thermal is heat. So it is coming from the inside. When I go to non-renewable resources, once you use it, it will not be easily replaced. Once, that is, if you destroy it, they will not come so easily. For example, you use oxygen and then you give oxygen out, carbon dioxide out. Plant will take this carbon dioxide and form it again to oxygen. But there are certain resources which will never be regenerated. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are basically formed by the plants and animals which have died millions of years ago, lakhs of years ago. The minerals, for example. Minerals are a rock to become a mineral. It takes a lot of time. There is a natural process. It will take a rock cycle. So in non-renewable resources, we have one more category, organic and inorganic. Organic, that is living beings, the resources which are formed by living beings are organic. Those are formed by non-living things. These are inorganic. So this non-renewable resources can be inorganic and organic. So we can give an example of inorganic as minerals, because rocks are not living, wind, land, soil and rock. So let me tell you again, there are different categories. We talked about exhaustible and inexhaustible. We talked about renewable and non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources can be categorized again into inorganic and organic. Non-renewable resources and renewable resources. So we know that non-renewable resources cannot be renewed. They cannot replenish itself. Renewable resources, they will replenish itself. So let us understand it by example. See, these are example. LPG, once you use, it will not come so easily. But if wind or air or water, if you use, it can be replenished. It will be replenished. It will never be destroyed. It will never be destroyed. So in non-renewable resources, first example is coal. Coal is one of the cheapest sources of fuel. Everywhere it is used. And it is used previously also, and now also in powerhouses, in factories, in cooking, for heating purpose. This coal is used. One of the most important is petroleum. So as I said, crude oil, which we find normally, if you go to this these Arab countries, Saudi Arab, Qatar, Bahrain, all these. So they have a lot of crude oil. So we refine it and then we get petrol, diesel, all these. Mineral oils also. So powerhouses, furnaces, they run motor vehicles, all the motor vehicles. LPG is liquefied petroleum gas. So this you have LPG in your house. So this is used for cooking, also for transportation, that is the running vehicles. Natural gas, normally wherever you find this crude oil, you will find natural gas above it. So because of animal and plant decomposition that have been buried under lakes and ocean millions and lakhs of years ago, this is how this crude oil and then the natural gas is formed. It is found above the oil well normally. Wherever you get crude oil, you will get this natural gas normally. So this CNG, compressed natural gas, is used for running vehicles. Then the nuclear plants, nuclear energy, nuclear fission, nuclear fusion. So we generally use this nuclear fission in our nuclear plants. So nuclear fusion is what we see in our sun. So electricity can be generated by it, by nuclear reactions, because it gives a very, very huge level of energy. But here is a problem, the danger. We have heard about Chernobyl. It wiped out whole city because of the disaster, Chernobyl disaster in Russia. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, these were atom bombs and it just destroyed the whole country. 2 cities were essentially finished. Minerals. So minerals are basically rocks only. So the earth contains different kind of rocks which are important for us, like gold, bauxite, aluminium we find out from here. Iron ore, we get iron and we transfer it into steel. They are various. So because we are overutilizing it, overexploiting it, they are reducing, and it takes so many time to recover. So these are non-renewable resources, but there are certain resources which can be renewed, like water. But situation is we only have less than 3%, only 2.5% water which is available. Basically 75% of our earth is covered by water, but only fresh water which we can drink or use for our purpose is only 2.5%. This is only fresh water we have. And this energy from the rivers, making a dam, we can employ it for electricity. We have the tides also. So we can have the tidal power we can use. We can use turbine, we can employ turbine and convert it into this energy into electricity, but it has to be very hard or very powerful tides. Sun is almighty. Every day you wake up with this. So sun can be used for electricity. For example, it can run calculator, street lamps, room heaters, even the water heaters. Then coming to wind. So wind, if wind is coming, then you cannot even stand. So it has a powerful, wind is very powerful. So it can be used for grinding grain, pumping water. This can also be converted to electricity if you use the windmill. Biomass is basically the plants and everything bio which is living, it produces, when it dies, it produces biomass. So this energy can be produced by this. It can be used for cooking. It can be used for electricity and heat. It can be produced. Biomass. So if you see, the wood is used to heat. Then soil. Everyone grows in soil only. Nutrients in the soil, it helps to plant to grow. And this soil is also, you are making house also in there. This mitti or soil is used everywhere. But the problem is we are polluting it. Soil pollution, soil degradation is going on because a lot of construction we are doing. We are cutting down trees ruthlessly. Then we have forest. Forests are what? They are trees. So it is actually preserving the ecological balance forest is doing. It will give you clean air. The clouds are being formed because of this. They give us all the useful material like wood, fruit, plant products of good medicinal value. So these are non-renewable resources, but we need to use them judiciously.